This is the 2026 Audi Q3. Does it rank among one of the greatest redesigns of all time? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. We're at Audi Shreveport for our first look at this fully redesigned Q3. If you want to know more, check out the link down in the description of the video. Now, there are some big changes here, but it still has a little bit of a similar look from the previous generation. But one of the changes you're going to see here is you have a wider grille, a little bit taller. It's going to give it a more muscular stance and look. We're going to have our lower grille down here in this area. You'll have a couple of sensors, one on each side there, a lot of great safety features. And then the front area right here is going to be in a real light gray or silver finish, really not a gray, but a silver finish that works its way up here to another area that does feature some changes. Now let me show you what happens here with our animated LED lighting elements. You're going to see the LED daytime running lights doing their thing right there, and it's going to work its way on, turn everything on. As you can see, you'll have your LED turn signal indicators, and our LED headlights will be right down here. Again, a little bit of a change right there as far as that goes. More of that silver treatment here. Notice one thing you don't have a lot of, which is going to be gloss black. Going to have that Quattro all-wheel drive, and in this particular case, we're going to have the 19-inch wheels. Now, we're going to have a combination of two different styles of finish here. You will find some gloss black here and that silver finish as well. We're going to have our power folding side view mirrors. That kind of did that unintentionally because of the settings. It locked on its own, but you can see what happens when we lock and unlock. They fold and unfold. Turn signal indicators built in. We'll get that to open for us right there. There's your turn signal indicator built in right there. Heated and power adjustable side view mirrors. One thing that hasn't changed is you still have your blind spot indicator or monitoring. Let you know what's going on right here on the inside of the mirror. It's not built into the glass. We're going to have our silver roof rails up top. The panoramic sunroof will also be here. As we work our way to the rear, now depending on the trim level that you go with, you can actually change the design element of the headlights and the taillights. In this case, it's only the headlights, but we're going to have the LED taillights here finishing things off. You can see when I hit the buttons right there just to kind of show you how everything works. Something else that I don't know that I'm going to have the ability to show you today. When the lights are on, the Audi logo will actually illuminate in red. We're going to have our exposed rear window wiper right there. I know a lot of people like to see that concealed away inside of the rear roof spoiler, but that's not the case here. Don't think that's too big of a deal. There is your remote. You're going to have lock, unlock. You can open and close the power tailgate. It is very functional. You got the panic button right there if you need to take advantage of that. It is nice, light, and going to not take up too much space in your pocket for the guys and purses for the ladies. Under the hood will be the 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, the TFSI. It makes 255 horsepower and 273 pounds-feet of torque. It's going to be mated to a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission. 0 to 60 will come in about 5.5 seconds. How about your MPGs? By the way, for those of you that want to see, we'll give you a good look at the window sticker here. We'll back up just a little bit so you can see that and take a look. For those that like to see the window sticker, but here are your MPGs. 22 city, 29 highway, 25 combined, and look at that, 4 gallons of gas for every 100 miles driven. When it comes to your gas tank on this all-new Q3, it's going to be 15.9 gallons. On a full tank of gas in the city, you should be able to drive 380 to 410 miles. That number jumps to 460 to 500 out on the highway, and combined you're looking at 420 miles up to 470. If you need to do any towing with the Q3, it's not going to be anything very heavy because it's rated to tow up to about 1,500 pounds. To gain access to your rear cargo area, there's a button right above the license plate right here. There's also a button on the interior. There's the button on the remote, or you can come right here and just kick your foot under the bumper just like that to gain access to your cargo capacity that ranges from 29 up to 50 cubic feet depending on how you set things up, whether or not you lower the seat backs. And you'll see that you have a little bit of storage space behind the fender wells here. And here is something that I don't think I've ever seen before. the location of the 12-volt power outlet right there. It's not normally on the floor basically like that. It's usually in this area or right here. Something that's kind of interesting. One more thing that I know is great news for everybody. No big surprises, but here is your spare tire. No tire repair kit. That's going to make things a little bit easier. You're also going to have some cargo area lighting over here on the right-hand side that's going to help keep things nice and illuminated when it's dark. You can easily remove this cargo cover if you need to, so you can take full advantage of the available space. All right, the back seat may not be the largest, but you're not in a full-size SUV, so don't be too surprised at that. A little bit of head space at 5'10", that's what I have, but it will work. Now, it's going to depend partially on where these front seats are set as well. What else do we have to talk about back here? Panoramic sunroof is going to be here. That front portion will open, and you have a power shade that can be drawn back and forth as needed if you want to conceal that away or not. We'll talk about the door panels. We'll show you over there on the driver's side. A nice amount of room. The door or the armrest is pretty comfortable. You do have some gloss black there, so try not to fingerprint that up. The door bin is going to be decent size. You can put a big bottle in there or whatever will fit. But here's something that you might be surprised at for less than $50,000. We're going to have one touch down, and they do go all the way down. Well, there's a little bit of glass exposed right there, but it's better than having it up here. But here's what might surprise you. One touch down, one touch up at all 4 doors. We'll find the oh crap handles right here. I don't think you really need those, but maybe going around corners or something like that. And here is the lighting right here. If you want to turn that on, that's not on right now, but there we go. That's just a touch right there. Just touch it. There we go. Comes on and off like that. Rear seat pockets, kind of that net style design. And we're going to have a couple of USB ports right here. There are our air conditioning vents. And then down here, you can actually make changes to the temperature if you want to, depending on what you want to do. You can change that right there. And something else I wanted to show you real quick. Number one, we're going to have the fold-down armrest with the cup holders built in. My favorite design, because that doesn't take up any space as far as the armrest area goes when there are cups in each one. But the other thing is what we can do with the button right here. You have a pass-through. So if you need something to fit through here but still have room for the passengers, 2 passengers back here, that is going to work really well. How about that all-important question of the sticker price? For those of you that watched and didn't just ask in the comments, I don't know why people do that. Don't tell them that it's $48,170. Let's see what else you get for the price. Actually, quite a bit. Now, one thing to note here is there is no sunglass holder anywhere. So don't come up here and accidentally push the SOS button right there. That won't go the way it's supposed to. Now, we're going to have our lights right here. As you can see, this is for the power shade. This is for the power sunroof. You can see what else is going on up there. You're going to have your buttons right here for your garage door openers. If you want to use that, you can program up to 3. And I like having the compass in the frameless mirror right there. We'll work our way down and show you the design here of the glove box and the dashboard area. You can see that there is a little bit of space in there if you want to take advantage of that. As far as the dash area goes, tell me what you think about this. It's actually a very simplistic, clean look. Not a lot going on here, at least in this particular model. You can see the design of the air conditioning vents, but I'm curious to know what you think. As far as the passenger side door panel goes, the armrest is a little bigger than what we had in the back seat. That's nothing unusual. We also have the door bin down there. That's going to be decent size as well. Now, I'm going to grab the camera and we'll come over here to the driver's side and show you what's going on here. We have our controls right here for seat memory. Kind of interesting. They're way down here. I've never quite seen that before, but that's the situation with that. Lock and unlock. Everything for adjusting your side view mirrors will be right here, and your power windows and power locks right there. And we'll find the control or release, I should say, for your tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. Cruise control settings managed right here. Nothing unusual or new, but what is new is what we have working our way across right here. Let's see if I can get the steering wheel out of the way just to show you a little bit of that where it's a little bit lower. By the way, that does move with the steering wheel, but this is where you manage your blinkers. Kind of interesting. You push that up and push it down like that. Let's see if we can get up here. You can see some of the buttons for lights and everything like that. And right here is where we control our windshield wipers. Interesting how that works. Tell me what you think about that. But there it is. We're going to have our shifter paddles here, and over on the right-hand side is your shifter. Here's how this is going to work. It's all controlled right here. So you're just going to move that area right there. You can go into drive, you can go into neutral, you can go into reverse, and to go back into park, we're going to push that button right on the very edge. Now, something that I don't think I've seen in too many vehicles before. Here's our button for the heated steering wheel. You have 3 different stages of the heated steering wheel. Over here, we're going to also be able to change where it says view right there. If you want to change your view on the driver's display, well, there you go. You can see what you can do. If you want to bring up the navigation, you can do that. You're always going to have that digital speedometer down there no matter what, all your different details and information depending on what you need to know about, and what you need to see. So you can also go through and do a few different things here depending on what you want to do. It's not too difficult to figure it out. Now, the overall design of the steering wheel, I like what we have right here with the finishes. Very comfortable. Works quite well. Now we're going to move over here, and the first thing I'm going to actually show you here is your multi-view with the cameras. Now I'm going to go into reverse here for just a second so we can bring up the rear view camera. You can do that. You can also come right here, and here is our front view. We also have the side views. Depending on what you need to see, you can see that on both sides. And then come back here, bring up the rear view, bring up the overhead view, and depending on what you need to do, you can adjust from there. We hit right there with the X to close that out. Again, we're going to have navigation, and we can work our way through a few different areas with some different screens right here. You can see the different dots down there. When I scroll over, there's 4 different dots there. That means you have a potential of 4 different pages. You can move some things around depending on what you need to do. You can go to your navigation, whatever you want to listen to with the radio, phone. We'll go right here to vehicle, and we can do a few different things here depending on what we want to change or manage. You can manage the displays, as you can see right there. Just run through here real fast just to show you some different things. Now, if you want to have your different icons, we hit the 4 squares right there. Here's what comes up. You can go into vehicle, make changes here, and you can see there's actually quite a bit. You do have some ambient lighting here in the interior, by the way. Probably not going to be able to show you that today because it's a little bit on the bright side. You can wirelessly pair your smartphone. Android Auto is going to be here. Also, Apple CarPlay if you want to take advantage of that, depending on the type of device you have. And just to show you a few of the things that are here, those are your different options. You can go right here into your settings. Depending on what you need to do, you can just scroll through here and you'll find what it is you need. Now, one thing you'll notice here, first of all, we're going to have our 3 stages of heated seats for the driver and the passenger up here. One thing you don't have are physical controls for the air conditioning, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to turn that up. Hey, Audi, change the temperature on the driver's side to 68 degrees.
I am setting the temperature on the driver's side to 68 degrees Fahrenheit.
And you can do all sorts of things like that. You can adjust the fan speed, whatever you want to do. So the lack of those physical controls is not really a big deal. So you don't have to worry about relying on the center screen as you're driving and taking a chance with being distracted when you're dealing with that. Here are our air conditioning vents down here. A nice design with that. They're going to get the job done. Some of our one-touch buttons are going to be here. I think you know what everything is as far as all of that goes. You're going to have your park assist, hazard lights, all of that stuff's going to be here. And then you can bring up some different details for your safety features, your favorites here on the driver's display. Here are some of our warnings. If you want to know what you have where that is concerned, there you go. Got a few more things on those safety features, like I said, here depending on what you need to do. So all I did was push the button down there, and that's how that came up. You can push that button and that will go away again. Park assist is going to be here. I think you know what everything is. We'll also have the little cover right there. There's your wireless charging pad. You have a 12-volt power outlet, and a couple of USB ports are going to be here too as we close that up. Now you will have to manually do that because you'll notice when I push on that, it doesn't do anything for me. Button to start and stop the engine will be here. And you'll notice there's gloss black. Keep that microfiber cloth nearby so you can take care of the fingerprints that will show up there. There is the knob for your radio. You can turn that on and off and adjust the volume. The power parking brake is here, and our cup holders. There is a lot of gloss black here. Tell me what your thoughts are where that is concerned. And the center console lid can be used as an armrest. And let's open that up and see how much space we have within. Actually, not too bad for this size of SUV. And we'll take our first test drive with the Q3. Really not a major difference where that is concerned. It has a good ride quality. The seats themselves are pretty comfortable. One thing I didn't talk about earlier in the video is the fact that the driver and passenger seats here in the front seat area are going to be power adjustable, and both will come with lumbar support. I know that's a big deal for a lot of people, asking about the lumbar support and the overall functionality of the seats. We'll get on down the road here a little bit. 0 to 60 is actually not too bad for a vehicle of this size and power, and it actually does get up and go somewhat decently. I'm just easing into the pedal just a little bit, not pushing too terribly hard, maybe at quarter throttle, but I can tell you right now, it's going to get the job done for you, not going to be a problem. The brake pedal and the gas pedal seem to be easy to adjust to. In my opinion, if there was anything with the brake pedal, it feels a little soft to me, but you have to keep in mind, I do drive a large GMC Sierra 2500 most of the time. Sometimes I do drive my Honda Prelude as well, which has pretty sensitive braking, but the brake pedal here, while it feels a little soft to me, I don't feel any issues as far as stopping power. It's doing just fine. Plenty of room here in the driver and passenger seat areas in the front seat. A lot of adjustability built in as far as the driver's seat goes with the steering wheel and with the seat itself. So that's going to make for a good experience no matter who's driving. Be able to set things up to where you're nice and comfortable and able to see without a problem. And we'll go ahead and get on down the road here just a little bit more. Not stepping on it too hard, but I have to say, while it may not have a huge number when it comes to horsepower, it still does just fine. It's not meant to be a rocket ship, not meant to be super quick, but it is going to get you down the road. The technology here, I must say, is seemingly pretty easy to deal with. This is my very first time dealing with this technology as far as the new technology goes. So not a problem to learn that. And it's easy to see out of. The blind spot indicators that are built into those side view mirrors that I told you about earlier, they do glow nice and bright when you need them. What do you think about that? That's one of those things I always like to know about with people's opinions. Some people like to have that in the side view mirror glass. Do you like that, or do you like the placement as far as what we have here? There it is, the 2026 Audi Q3. Does it rank among one of the greatest redesigns of all time? Tell me what you think down in the comment section. Audi did do a great job here inside and out, but you as the consumer really makes the decision on what it's worth as far as your money. Do you think they did a great job? Do you think they missed something? Tell me what you think. Overall, I have to give it a thumbs up. I'd like to say a special thanks to my friends here at Audi Shreveport for loaning us this Q3 for the day so we could tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give us the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. That's very helpful to us. We appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe and share this video on your timelines on social media so other people can see it. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and we'll see you there.